Hi there, welcome to Burning Spears. I'm Richard and I'll be your host today. So I'm just going to do a quick video on a recent discovery. One of my wholesalers does Australian lamb chump. Now basically it's the lamb rump, or Americans would call it in beef terms sirloin, but I like to regard it as a little lamb picanha. It's an amazing piece of meat, so tender, great quality, and it's got a lovely fat cap on. So I'm going to be serving that up in a flatbread with some vegetables and a mint yogurt and some harissa hot sauce. Stick around and see how I cook this beautifully and get the maximum taste out of such a small amount of ingredients. So quite simply, I've got the lamb chump steak or cut, kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper. I have some tomatoes, an onion, a lemon, some mint, some lovely little folded flatbreads. You could use pita bread. And I've got some Greek yogurt, probably about a cup full, and some of my homemade harissa hot sauce. That's basically it on the ingredient side. So this has been in the fridge overnight to dry off some of the fat so that I get a nice good render on it. Fairly dry. I'm just going to try and extract what little bit of moisture I can for the salt to stick. Be generous with your salt as it is quite a thick cut. Get it in every nook and cranny or crook and granny. And it's really that simple. You could add whatever you wanted onto this, but I'm going very simple today because I'm after simple and punchy flavors. Okay, so I've got the Kamado Joe set up to cook Indirect. I'm doing a similar to a reverse sear method on this, like I would a whole picanha. And I'm going to pop that in at 140 degrees, that's 280 Celsius, a little bit warmer than I traditionally do, but I want some of this fat to render out properly before the sear stage. I don't want thick white fat for the end result. It must be nicely rendered out. So I'm probably going to pull this at an internal of about 45 degrees Celsius as the first part of the indirect part of the cook. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes. Let's have a wee check. 53, 44.2 in the middle. Okay, definitely time to come out. A nice pink color from the charcoal smoke. Okay, so we had about 300 degrees Celsius, which is about 575 Fahrenheit. More than hot enough just to give this a little bit of a sear. Doesn't need too much. It's got an internal temperature of 50 degrees Celsius, excuse me. I'm going to take it up to about 54, hopefully no more than that, and rest. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking just beautiful. The fat is rendered, I can see that's beautiful. That salt has just run with the fat all over and basted it as it's cooked. I'm going to give it a few minutes to rest There's a bit of liquid coming out of there. But I'm not going to give it as long as I should because my mouth's watering and I want to eat these things and get on with my day. So next thing will be carving. Can't wait. Yeah, so impatiently I'm going to go in soon, but whatever juices there are, I'll let the meat get soaked in those. I'm hoping for a nice, really pink center, which is how I like to eat lamb. Some might find it off-putting, but then you just take yours to an internal. This is 54, right? So you can take yours to an internal of 57 to 60. I wouldn't recommend anything over 60 as such. I mean, that's just perfect. Look all the juices. Like I said, I should have let this rest more, but c'est la vie. And the fat, that thick fat cap, was almost non-existent. It's more than halved its thickness. Right, so this lamb, so tender and so flavorful. It's incredible and quite easy to make. There's loads of permutations to this. You can add different stuff to the mint yogurt. You don't need to use mint. You can add your hot sauce into your yogurt. You can mix mayo with your yogurt. There's a lot of different ways you can make this your own. But this for me, simple flavors, punch, some bang. The yogurt, add in the fridge for about 40 minutes. You want that to be cold. You can thicken it by putting it through a fine sieve and letting the juices drain out if you're that way inclined. Lamb, you can't do much more. I love just the salt and pepper on here. Lets the lamb flavor shine. Those of you who find it a little bit gamey, you might want to dull it with some spice or something like that, but I have spice in here. This is probably going to run everywhere, so I'll eat it over the board. But let's give it a try. Very, very good, very delicious. So the lamb's there, mint yogurt provides its sourness, that punch with a bit of lemon in there. The raw onion, which I love, does what raw onion does. Tomato sort of adds its own little nuance, and the flatbread transports it all together. Very tasty and quite a nice little summery sort of dish to do. We're having the hottest day that was yesterday. We're having another hot day today. It's spring, so this is perfect time to eat food like this. This lamb is so tender. Cut it, sliced against the grain. Always when you have meat in a sandwich or a thing like this, where you're using your teeth to cut it, you want it to be tender enough just to break. You don't want to be pulling out whole slices of the meat with a bit of sinew or whatever as you try and eat your food. You lose out on the content of the sandwich and it doesn't look great. So, sorry, my mouth is watering. I'm going to get stuck in here. I hope you enjoyed this short little video. And thank you, and hope to see you soon. Please like and subscribe, and that's it.